Hello YouTube, this is Morgan, Airspeed Prime here with my next Sword Art Online video. This is going to be my trailer analysis for the, the second proper trailer for Sword Art Online Alicization Season 3. And yeah, let's get into this straight away. I have some screenshots here from the trailer. The link to the actual trailer, if you want to watch the full thing with the music and dialogue and so on, is in the description, but we're going to go through this screenshot form so we can focus on some stuff. So we open up with, of course, getting a shot at the Gigas tree, which we've seen in the previous trailer, plus the kind of basic town and kind of general layout of this world. You know, it's fairly circular, mountains off in the distance, looks fairly nice, but you know, what's behind those mountains, I suppose, is the question. We then see Yu-Gi-Oh here, who is obviously going to be our kind of like secondary main character with Kirito for this season. He's the one swinging this axe. Again, this axe is something we saw in the first trailer, into the tree. And then in the next shot we can see that Alice, Yu-Gi-Oh and Kirito are having a picnic. They all look very young here, having a picnic beside this tree, and you can see there's a pretty decently sized kind of gash in it. And given the size of the axe, you know, how long has it taken to do that much damage with that axe, given what we learn about this tree a little later on in the trailer. So we then cut to basically, I suppose, you know, this happy moment for the three kids, to suddenly something happens and Alice is taken away. We start to learn about like system alerts. We see in Yu-Gi-Oh's eye, he sees this system alert, and as he watches Alice be taken away, system error comes on in his eye for some reason. We then cut to Kirito in the real world waking up and saying that, you know, whatever he sees during his tests, he has no memories of it once he wakes up. It's obviously confirming to us that Kirito in that game is playing a game of some sort. But there is a twist, and the unique aspect of this show is that they reveal this detail here. The human soul would actually be made of fluctuations of photons, so they call it flux lights. And that's what they basically refer to as the soul. And we get this kind of information screen here that Kirito is performing tests for this company called Wrath, and he's using the soul translator to get into this game and play it. And obviously the game is based off these flux lights, which relates to memories and the soul, and we're getting pretty high end here in a different type of game. So then we cut to, again, we're still in real world stuff here, as we get to see, again, stuff we saw from the last trailer, the most kind of shocking thing from the last trailer, Kirito being injected by someone and then being basically dying on the ground here as kind of Asuna screams. We cut back into the game and we see Kirito fighting, but as you can see here, he's older, whereas like back before it was like young Kirito who looked maybe 10 at most. Here it's very clearly meant to be like, you know, 16, 18-year-old kind of Kirito, and he's fighting some goblins. The animation is pretty nice across the entire trailer, so I think that's really, really cool. They've spent a lot of time on it and it looks really, really good. Then we have a very interesting shot here of Yu-Gi-Oh crying on the ground, saying that he's always waited for Kirito to come, as we see this kind of shot cut over to the blue rose sword. Again, that I don't think that was shown in the previous trailers, but that's what it is. It's a very notable sword, and it's a pretty big deal, especially early on in the arc, but that's what it's called. We then see Yu-Gi-Oh in action, which is pretty nice to see, so he's going to be doing some fighting as well. And then we get some more information screens, one about the Axiom Church, who's going to be the enemy for this arc, and they control something called the Taboo Index. And the question that they're asking you to ask is, Axiom Church, who are they, and who made the Taboo Index, and what is that? We then get this other kind of theme that's going to be a part of this arc, which is an AI that went beyond the system, Alice, that's what they're calling it. And obviously it relates to the fact that an AI who went beyond the system is Alice, who's the character. And they kind of explore that a little bit in just a couple of screenshots. I have that, but it is interesting that this is what confirms to us that the things that Kirito is interacting with in the game are not just NPCs, they are actually AIs who have, I think it was mentioned in the last trailer, artificial flux lights. So they're artificial souls, so they are essentially real, but there's this kind of manipulation stuff going on, and that's what the taboo index is about. But we'll get into that. Here's the thing about the Gigas tree I mentioned earlier on. As you can see here, Kirito does a kind of opens up the kind of information window on it, and just before this we saw that it had a S on it, which means that like the tree was like, I think, class S. Oh no, sorry, actually I keep forgetting. They open up their windows by doing those sort of kind of signs in the air, and I think it's like Stacia window for like status. And he tries to look at the durability rating of this tree, and you can see it's like 320,826, and you know there's only like about 100,000, less than 100,000 of it gone. So it's a really, really kind of huge tree, very, very durable, and that's why not much of a dent has really been made in it. And obviously the show itself will go into more details on just how long it's taken to get to that number, but we'll move on. Next one is this shot that, if you maybe haven't read the books, you don't know the significance of, but this is the AI going beyond the system moment. This is someone crossing territories, basically. You can see the line there between the difference between just what looks like normal ground and kind of darker ground in a way. And this is effectively a character, Alice obviously, breaking the taboo index by something as simple as even reaching over, which, you know, is something that almost shouldn't be possible, but she's done it, and this is a big question. This is why she's taken away, and this is where the whole kind of plot starts, just from something as simple as this, but it's much more significant once they actually reveal the details around it. But very interesting that that's one of the last shots that they end on. And then of course we get Sword Art Online Alicization starting October 6th. The final thing that we know about this season is that I believe it's been since confirmed that it's going to be 4 cores of animation. So that means it's going to be at least, I think, 48 episodes, but it could be as high as 52. And then we also know that the first episode, which is coming on October 6th, is going to be like an hour-long kind of special. Now, I don't know if that's going to be like included in that, like, that is the length of 3 episodes, so that is considered to be a 2 or 3 episode in one, or if they're just basically saying the first episode is bonus length, but there'll still be the same number of episodes going forward. Either way, very cool. They're treating this as a full-on event thing. 50 episodes potentially is more than I expected, and means that they're really going to get into the detail of this arc. I think, there was a way where they possibly could have done this in 26 episodes, the full Alicization arc, at least as far as I know it. But 52, I think, gives them a lot of time to explore the details of this arc. It's the longest arc in Sword Art Online, and there are some complex things that they have to get into. And to me, this is confirming that if they need to explain something, they're going to take up the core of like a whole episode to explain something if they need to. I think they're going to go into the full explanation on stuff like flux lights, what the taboo index is, the nature of the world, some of the bigger explanations from the books. I think this means that they're going to devote the time to giving those explanations in the show. So very, very happy with this. I think this trailer, the animation looks amazing. The music that they used there, which I don't know if is that going to be the new opening theme, seems really, really cool, and it just looks amazing. Like, I really like the Alicization arc in the light novels. It looks like they're really delivering on it in the animation. So that are my thoughts on this most recent trailer for Sword Art Online Alicization. I will, of course, be reviewing every episode of Alicization on my channel, so come October 6th, make sure to obviously kind of follow along with me as we go through the episodes, reviewing them. But yeah, other than that, in the comments, let me know what your thoughts were on this trailer. But yeah, that's been the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.